So, how many of you? Oh, there you go again. They're after me, folks. No, they're not. I'm just kidding. How many of you have heard that sound and literally freaked out? I know I have. Well, just let me share a story with you. My husband was an officer of the law for over 30 years, 34 to be precise. And that was some life to lead. You see things in a totally different way. Some of us hate the police. Some of us, like me, love the police. Like any job, there are some good apples. There are some great apples. Then there's some really bad apples. And because of those bad apples, a lot of officers get the bad rap. Well, again, it was a different type of life, but I too am a mom of a police officer. Now, that's a totally different way of living when your son's out there. I was lucky enough to find a support group, Moms of Police Officers. How did I find this? Facebook. Moms of Police Officers and Lori Mooring of North Carolina started the group. She knew that she needed some support on this. You know, people don't seem to remember that all these officers have families, that they are someone's daughter, someone's son, someone's grandchild, and they are. Lori belonged to another group, and she said it became too political. It wasn't about, sometimes moms just need to vent. Oh, this happened, I need someone to talk to. And just to have the comfort of another mom saying, oh, yes, this happened to me too. Again, we are never alone in any situation. Her son started off as a correctional officer, and he was okay with the job, but she could tell that he wanted to grow more. So he went to the academy and is so much happier. Loves being a police officer. You gotta love your job, especially this type of job, because they see so much sadness, and they try to prevent it as best as they can. Unfortunately, the pandemic did a number on everyone. Some people have felt caged up, and right now it's kind of crazy. Violence is really up in certain cities, and police officers are exhausted. Some of them just are exhausted, mentally and physically. But guess what? They go home to be with their family, and some don't talk about it. They keep it all bottled up inside, and they get up the next day and go face the world again. I know some people don't like police officers, but I love them. I support them. And yes, again, there are some bad apples, but not all of them. So you have to remember that. So when you see an officer, tell them thank you. Thank you for putting their life on the line each and every day. It is a different lifestyle living in a family of an officer. There's certain things you can and cannot do. You have to be cautious of the areas you're in. And if there's if an officer is in a certain unit, let's say narcotics, gang unit, vice, something like that, they really have to be careful if they go out with their family. Just remember, folks, they're there to help you. You don't have to like them. You don't have to invite them over for dinner. But if you can't, say thank you. They really are putting their life on the line each and every day. Just like our military, we don't know what's going on. When they're in another country fighting, we pray. And we pray that they come home safe. Just as we do an officer that goes into each and every day to work. Yeah, they can wear a vest. That doesn't mean that's going to keep them alive. They have great training, but people just don't understand how physically and mentally it can be. I say this from a viewpoint of a wife and a mom. There are so many stories and things. There's happy stories too, believe it or not. There are some great stories. Like, I'll share this one story that my son told me about. It was during the pandemic, graduating seniors. Now, just a reminder, we are in Texas and our summers are hot. And my son sees this young man walking in his cap and gown. It's like, oh man. Pulls up and he goes, hey, where are you going? He says, I'm going to my graduation. It's up at the school. My son says, well, would you like a ride? Sure. Is it okay? Of course. Get in the car. Puts him in the squad car. I hope this doesn't get him in trouble. Gives him a lift to the school. And then they start talking. And he's so excited. And he's telling my son, unfortunately, my mom and dad won't be at my graduation because of the pandemic. They're working at home, and I have younger siblings. I got accepted to college. I will be the first one in my family, look at me getting emotional, to go to college. And my son said, oh man, I was so excited for him. And I wanted to do something other than give him a ride. Well, my son looks in his wallet and he's got $20 because no one really carries a lot of cash anymore. So my son gives him his $20 and says, this is all I have. I wish I could give you more. And he also told him, go do something good with your life. And he thanked my son and said, thank you so much, officer, and thank you for all you do. There are happy stories. There are good cops. But remember, they are here to protect you. But remember their families too. Remember the moms and the dads. Remember their wives and their kids. When you start bashing them, just remember they have a family too. And they're not all alike, just like you're not all alike everyone, and I'm not like anyone else. Thank God there's not another Henrie. God bless the officers in blue. God bless Lori Mooring for moms of police officers. Follow her on Facebook if you are a mom. It's a great Facebook page. Thank you for listening, and please go and find your blessings.